This is a how-to video for repairing the steering column lock on a 2006 XC70 Volvo. There are quite a few videos already out there on YouTube that walk through this process, but what we found in having to go through this repair ourselves is that there's a shortcut that may help a lot of people and make this job a whole lot easier than some of the other videos have described. So I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see the automobile, and then I'll walk you through what we did. Okay, looking at the dash, the issue here, which appears to be a common problem for this particular model and series of Volvo, is that the ignition switch got hung up. You could not go past position 1, and therefore you could not start the car, and you could not get the car out of park. So the car was basically immobilized. And at various times we had difficulty even getting the switch to turn to position 1. So based on some tips that we got from other YouTube videos, we proceeded to remove the cosmetic panels from the bottom of the steering column. There are 3 Torx head screws that allow you to drop that panel down, so that was fairly easy. You can also remove the top panel if you wish, although as it turns out that wasn't really necessary, so you can leave the top panel in place. But in any event, we dropped that panel down from the bottom of the steering column. It reveals all the electrical switch and the mechanical portion of the steering column lock. Most of the YouTube videos that are out there now suggest that you need to grind and remove some security bolts that allow you to remove this entire switch assembly, and then in most cases replace it. There was, however, one very helpful video out there that suggested that if you simply drop this plate from the bottom of the steering lock, that it may free up the mechanism inside and enable it to work again. So we focused on that. We did take a Dremel tool to grind away a little bit of material right along the edge here. This plate is basically held in by 3 punch marks. At the factory they apparently take a sharp nose punch and just stake over a little bit of metal from the cast metal housing to hold this plate in place. So what we did is we just took a Dremel and removed a little bit of material from this edge so that we can get a screwdriver in there and pry down the plate. And as it turns out, once we pried down that plate just a little bit, we did not remove it. All we did is pry it down just a little bit. As soon as we did that, the lock started working again. So the lock is now able to turn. We can turn the lock through all 3 positions and start the car, whereas previously we couldn't do anything. So relatively easy fix, took us about an hour, and hopefully this video will help others in the same dilemma to fix theirs just as easily. And we're done.